think, with a little bit of luck. Yes, we're live, brother. 16th of December, the year of our Lord 2018. Adventures in Advent, health and wealth with Andy and Dave. How are we all? Hello. Thank
Hello,
you.
bonjour, seasonal greetings. Hope we're all well.
Let's see, there's 11 in the room. We've called it health and wealth. We'll leave it broad like that. We'll go with the ebb and flow as we do, Andy. And you can see the chat room. I can see the chat room. So
No, I can't see the chat room, Dave. I was in the chat room earlier, but obviously when I come live on my device, I can't be in both areas. So I'm obviously here now. I can't see any chats on YouTube. I'm in Hangouts, aren't I?
oh, silly me. Yeah, schoolboy error. Ciao. I've released the camera.
Bonjour. Let's do the same. Here we go then. And we're in. My way. Bonjour to you, brother.
That way. Bonjour. Good to see you. Good to see you. To see you good.
Sporting the motif.
Sunny. Super sovereigns. I once, when I was a wee burn boy, there was a program on BBC after school, and it was by the Children's Film Foundation, and I think it was from Australia. And there was one called Super Gran, which was excellent, about a really strong grandma and her superpowers, and this little boy and how she helped him. And there was another one called Sammy's Super T-shirt, and it had a lion, a tiger on it, and he used to
A
give him
liger.
special powers. Yeah, lion, tiger, something. I think a tiger, black and white, and it used to have a in the circle the tiger, and it used to flash or something, and he gets superpowers, and that's what we've got right now. Sovereign superpowers.
I'm glad you think so.
Well, we haven't. We've started to reserve our rights and to familiarize ourselves with the concept of where we are and whom we are and how we are and what these assumptions and presumptions are and how we would assert ourselves in that cesspit of I don't know,
Of
smelly eggs.
buggery.
Yes, yes, fam. To some, it could be construed as superpowers. If others went to a judicial realm and we went to a judicial realm, you would notice the difference in the outcome of the game there, business transactions to others and us, because we would be aware and knowledgeable. So it's just it's not superpower, it's just education is the word, isn't it? We're in a doctrine, and
Application.
the doctrine has changed for us and for these guys, for the family, for the brothers and sisters, everyone.
We've gone from personage and governance to man and covenants. And when you can speak the language within the realm, you'll nail that person's arse every day of the week.
Eloquently put, nail that person's arse.
Well, as I nailed our good man to the cross, it swings and roundabouts, hey, Rodney. What comes around goes round, and what goes round comes back around. Hello.
I would like to now just put a pin in everything and breach that I've had the unfortunate first-hand knowledge of our last about the mandatory overtime that's been applied to the Magyar and Hungarian family that we've got over in East Europe, whereby President Victor has actually passed an act, a bill, an order, public code will term it as, and it was rendered everybody that's in Hungary, Magyar, got to work every Saturday now, which will constitute the 400 hours overtime that every man, woman, working person and citizen has been ordered to do by the central government and the central banks. I'd like to just highlight that I'm getting first-hand knowledge about family, friends, village folk, city folk. I'm not getting the inside scoop within the politics. What I'm telling you is from the men on the ground in villages and cities in Page, Budapest, and a few others that I won't mention because I'm not going to breach family location and data in international, lands. But it's actually really, really scary that these men, brothers, sisters, family, citizens, persons are in this state because not only did they mandatory pass the 400 hours overtime, but I don't know whether you heard me when I said They don't get paid it for 3 years. So it's not like you're getting it the week after you've done it or the month in lieu. You're getting it 36 months after you've been ordered to do it. So that's another kick in the proverbial, well, nailing your ass. That what did we say? Yeah. And then
Mm-hmm.
not only that, let me can continue because it gets worse. If you can believe this, it actually gets worse. That whilst they was playing these games and executing these deeds in the equivalent of the parliamentary structure of Hungary. They also moved the judicial management and judicial judgment structure, and so Parliament ordered a judicial reform of judgment, I'll term it as, because I'm not got all the facts. And basically, they were occupying man and the working class and the overtime and 3 years getting paid. And whilst they were all out going, you what? They went, quick, now move that court system and do that bit that we said also. And it's like, wow. So now I'm getting the reports of it's Christmas time, and a lot of them are, a lot of them are family. These are Europeans and Hungarians. They are quite, meek and honourable and polite and courteous. They live in villages on farms. They don't have all this, Tesla equipment and, flat screen TVs and all these technological advancements. They're simple, honourable, salt of the earth, that, small village mentality. And the iron horses are like 20 years old. It's not like they're up and coming. And to have this effect put on them now is just a shocking, harrowing time of year. It's never good to be told that your slave benefits have just been removed and the tightening up the thumb screws. But this time of year, it's just it's quite sad, to see that this is actually happening, and the instrumentation and the techniques of which these village folk and farm folk and non-materialistic folk have are pretty much close to pitchforks and going out with mobs and telling them we're not having it. They haven't got the backup, the support, the networking, the education. I'm not having a go at them because they're us, basically. I am them, we're the same, but they haven't got the backup or anything. And it's just something that I wanted to say. Has anybody else got out to say about any of that? Because that's just it's horrific, is it not?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're bringing these so-called laws and policies as a part of the larger agenda, and ultimately it's all heading to Agenda 2030, where it's going to be cashless society, one world religion, one world government, one world rule, just one everything, and it's all into their hands, and this is a part of it right now, where you'll do as we say, or we'll incarcerate your ass, or fine or forfeiture, or whatever we wish to do with you, and until you ring fence yourself and you've got yourself and your property and your assets protected, I'm afraid they're coming for all of us. It doesn't matter what class you class yourself as.
Mm.
In my mind, there is no classes, but those that do class themselves as middle class or upper class or lower class or whatever the class may be, top of the class, best boy in the girls' class, whatever you are, that they're coming for you, and they're coming for me and everybody else, and it's a part of the what's going on here. Oh, Dave, I'm gonna have to answer the phone, mate.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I'll say hello to top chat. Anonymous. Let me see, live chat. Let me go live chat. Doing a memento. And then live. All messages are visible. Who have we got? Let me see. 30 watching. Well, thank you. Hello all. Fist bumps. Grazie. Peace and love. Andy's just started to nip out. So Alan, Lev, Menza, Jerry, Nonna. Head is exploding and everything. Yes, isn't it? It's designed that way, sister. I of, yeah. Magnetic, shadow, the usual suspects. Rose tinted. What else we got? I think that's just about covered you. Charlotte. Hello, Charlotte. And the way we is, not the way Weiss, the way we is. He says with a smile. It's not a big thing learning a name, David. It's for me sometimes. Chill Star is in the house. Thank you, Hogarths of the regression type. Is that because Hungary doesn't have a Rothschild bank? No, it has a deal with Washington, though. It doesn't have a central bank, but it uses central bank reserve federal money that's come through Washington to deal with. George Soros is also Hungarian, is he not? Yes, interesting link. FPV is in the house. Amanda, hey, you look like a new subscriber or a recent subscriber. Thank you, Amanda. If not, I apologize, but freedom awaits. You definitely are. Hello, thank you very much. Ciao bello, peace and love. Shalom, salam alaikum, bonjour, arigato. I can't think of any more. Come on, Yasu Filet, Greek, Amanda, Dave. What do you think about the yellow vest movement? I think it's honourable, and I think it's democracy in action. But I do believe that money will have been made and charges will have been used and spray of mace and batons and violence, and it won't have been clean. And it's in the standard capacity of which we know. So we'd like to explore different capacities, standard, statuses, and how we would use things that are pens mightier than the sword, and that kind of consciousness movement, and doing it now. There's a shadow cloud coming, and what's happening is the way we kind of see this construct is that we get warnings and we get time, and the time is running ever so tight and thin. It's coming over to this land, and we only have so much protection, so many rights and entitlements before emergency measures and so forth, like the Queen calling for Theresa May to resign, and X, Y, and Z. Brexit, yes, yellow vest movements, democracy, 5G, fracking, tower blocks burning down, economies collapsing, trusts and ministerial ministers, coming out, ministerial MPs, trustees coming out and apologising for deaths and failures. Trust schools coming out saying that they've got a shortfall in the budget, in the deficit. It's a lot to comprehend here, and we see that there is a deception amongst the peasantry, amongst the common class, amongst the working class, the ignorant, the belligerent, the militant combatants, the sinners. It goes way back, and we've come quite a long way to be able to present what we've presented across these recent hangouts and interactions and catch-ups and analyses and other open hangouts that we've done, and now on the .com with the publication of the Sovereign Masters Guild education workshop platform. We're on the foundation stage now, and we've given out 3 publications that are receiving good feedback and are being immersed and downloaded. The DWP document has been downloaded over 700 times. And we've had 5 testimonials in the last couple of months about the success and turnaround and remedy that this language and instrumentation and interpretation into the realm of correction of status, standing, capacity, interaction, public liability. Yeah, it's very interesting and it's very powerful. So it's working, and we're getting there. The education part is already in play through this interaction and broadcast, and the .com, the Facebook trust itself, and then I will be furthermore writing some. Now I've got to be careful here. We don't test because testamentary. You get tested, and attestation. The word test is not to be used, but you have got a level of key competence that needs to be managed, graded, and subject to evaluation at some point by some kind of established, authorized, genuine, honourable, appointed. Wow, you see what I mean? It's very difficult. Whom are we to judge? Nobody. But whom are we to lay something out of which works? Then we are ones with conscience that will do so. And the actual key competence then, so the grade management will come from the questions that I write that will accompany those 3 documents that are the SPO's pro.com civil justice template for worldwide remedy, and then the governor's master's trust principles and the servant master trust slavery. So nearly said a faux pas there, an oxy spoonerism. You read and digest them and watch the videos, and then I will write the questions that will go with the body of the words there and the topics and the each document will have some questions. There won't be multiple answer questions. It will just be a question. So an example would be once you've read the foundation level document for the civil justice to worldwide remedy in a civil claim in 99.8% of the world's temple BAR courts, the question would be, what is the language of the courts? And then you would then answer that, and you would then send that back to us, and we would, the team, the management, I or Andy would grade that and give you not a judgment, but an overall mark and correction. So you'd know when we give it you back what you put and then what you could have put. So if you put to the answer, what language does the court system, lawyers, judges, solicitors, barristers, duty solicitors, and the books and language of the printed arena, what is it called? Um, that's just one question, and you would then answer your answer. But if you just put legalese, you'd be right. But there's also sign language, there's also dogma, there's also glossa, there's also ancient Latin, hyphenated text, there's also the four corner rule, the boxes, languages of New Times Roman fonts. You've got that guy with his syntax grammar. You've got, well, yeah, a lot of answers there. So you can answer in levels of. But for the foundation, it's just the certain questions will be at the levels that you'll be required to have competence in, not a grading or a skill as such, but the competence. And once you get that repetition and you've deleted the operating system of the one that we've got, which is corrupt, then you'll find that things will move smoother and better. So in the new year, there will be an outlay of this, and this is not a test. Okay, it's just a key competence gradient marker indicator to where you are, and once you've done one of the tests, you will receive it back with the required amount of knowledge and interpretation that we apply when we look at these and do this. So it isn't going to be a 3 week, 6 week, 4 month affair. Everybody will pass because you will get given what you need to accompany that. So you'll have the coursework and study content, and then you'll have the key points of which you need to extract from that and take with you, and then import that into the way you conduct, reply, your office, your status, your standing, your capacity, your public liability, how you interpret what comes through the little, gravestone, tombstone, rectangle letterbox there, the language, how it's put to you, the capitalization, the color significance of the ink, the signatures, the autographs, the left and the right side. And over time, we'll go into the finance and the monetary mechanics, and we'll go again, and we'll do a similar outlay. But this isn't any way endorsed by any of the legal or the financial or any of the universities or academics or the grandmasters or anything like that. There are claims going about the validity of things and the way that things are going, but we can assure you through our own admissions, which is our words, and our words are our bonds, that I've been looking into the Rastafari area of late, and the ITAL, all natural way, non-synthetic way of living, and looking at Christianity versus Rastafari, Rastafarianism. Ra star is the nice bit that, because of the Nubian connection and the Egyptian, I've been looking into, and I've said it on various hangouts about the Rasta, Rastafari, King Haile Selassie I, Zion, and the connection, and how and if they use any of the Old or the New Testament, and how it translates into the true Rastafari. And the call has been put out, and it's been well and truly answered. I'm happy to say it's truly incredible. It's overwhelming, and it's it's information of which that we need and that is applicable to the whole picture of the religion. And now, whether or not this Rastafari and Rastafarianism is a religion, well, I'm not the one to answer that, since it's not mine. But what I'm seeing and what I'm finding is truly, again, unique and magical. And yeah, it's very deep and it's principled, it's prophetic, it's got a lot of prolific statements to it. I had a lady last week when I was at one of the clients' houses in Birmingham. She had on the wall the Jamaican flag with the Jamaican national anthem, and she actually sung it to me. And it's one of the most beautiful times of my life. That was a good rendition, good words, good meaning, good structure. It goes on about natural things, which leads me into now. I watched a film yesterday because I don't know why, how it came up. It's not Christmassy, it's not festive, it's nothing to do with this time of year, but it's by the producer and actor Mel Gibson, and the film is called what was the film called, Anne Marie? Apocalypto. The film is called Apocalypto. Now, if you haven't seen that, I don't invite you to watch it. It's horrific, horrendous. It's about slaves, Malayan, very, very old. I wouldn't be able to tell you an era, whether it would be Sumerian, Judaism, Babylonian, Astro, Zoroastrian, Arcadian, way before that. What continent? It's kind of depicted what continents and stuff by the dark skinned characters that they use for the film. But Mel Gibson's done a stunner there. Wow, I haven't seen that before. As you can tell, it's been out rather a while, and others have said to me regarding slaves and the way that it works, and tribesmen, and the land and the dominion and the lord, and souls and spirits. You need to, and synchronicity and omens and everything like that. The realm that we're in, as Alan Watts and other lads says, Jiddu, Krishnamurti, the realm. Yeah, this film is deep. This film is horrific. It's got blood in it. It's got beating hearts being took out of living man for sacrifices. It's got desolation, rape, murder, pillaging, nasty, horrible scenes. I think one of the Wayans brothers is in it as one of the evil tribe. I won't give all away, but it isn't pretty. It isn't clean, but it does hit home, and things, war and oppression, and this homelessness and disease and dis-ease and where we're at. It's a big old weapon, if you like, and it's been weaponized. 1 in 200 are at risk of being homeless. So with what's happening in Hungary, what's happening in France, what's happening in England with the Brexit and the panic and the fear, yeah, is only going to bring more constraining orders and codes onto the system with regards to the tax and the mandates, how they recover it, what goes off, and yeah, we're not looking forward to it, and we're gonna look where Andy is. We'll look at the chat room, and let me just re-invite him, see if he answers, and I'll go back to you. Brexit, we've got a plan for March, but yeah, it's a big old plan. There we go. Let me get Andy in. Done. Shabba. FPV, yeah, we got to you. Way we is so good to get hold of you. Thank you, Rose Tinted. Okay, nice ones. Amanda. Hey, Rose, let me put you here. I do like it when you say that. Yeah, it does make me chuckle. You've got a nice, soft, presenting voice. If I could only be as calm and laid back as our brother F there of the Angel Clan when I did my videos and presentations. Robert of the Lund clan. Any news on the certificate of birth? Well, it's not actually that would be coming, is it? But I know what you mean, brother. That's probably what will end up coming. No, not yet. As soon as I get it, I will go live. Let you know. Okay, so yeah, we shall wait. Hopefully, this Friday would be nice. Yeah, and everybody, look what we've got. What a certificate of credit. It's the wrong ticket, Gromit. Not trousers, the wrong ticket. Magnetic. I need to learn to program. Yeah, we need some programmers. We're looking at a chat bot, not a chat. Yeah, we are looking at a chat bot for frequently asked questions for the .com. G Star's doing some extra research now, and we're also looking at chat internal chats like a chat buddy where you can put other users' names in and stuff and chat with them privately. We're going to look at we need programmers though is the key bit that you just made me remember. Magnetic, the crypto kids or anybody that's into apps and things like that. We're looking for them. That would help. Tech, the new wave, the next generation underneath us. If you're into that and you know how to do stuff, well, you already are. I've had some offers from the Book of Faces, but I'm just collecting and collating what we've got, what technology, what skills, and what options. Video chat would be good as well. Our own private video chat. Hello, are you back there, brother?
Yeah, sorry about that. Might have to take an important call. I couldn't miss it. Have I missed much?
No, I've just blabbed on about how I see you a bit. I've just filled in the gap as I do, and I'm going through the chat room. We've got 35 roughly.
Okay. Bonjour. Thanks for waiting, everybody. I couldn't miss that.
They haven't been waiting. They've endured me more like it wasn't really a wait. It was more of an endurance. I've retained 36. So one's gone up one, so I've done okay.
It's probably me.
Yeah, they've come back. Andy's back on. Come on.
Lewis, grab your iPad from me, I'll be able to go on YouTube and I'll be able to look at the comments and I'll be able to interact with
Do you have to a court? No, you don't have to go to a court to receive that document of credit certificate. You can have it sent care of to the office of anywhere you want. Ron Romley did say on the video called the two birth certificates that he'd have it sent to the court and about who it was addressed to and how who had to open it under the rules. But it would. I asked the question on the express number 0300 to the registry office and they said that you could go and get it from Liverpool, Merseyside. And I says, no, you can send it to an office, appointed office, care of, please, and I'll give you the direction for that. And she said, yeah, no problem. So that was just a question there from Shadow. Honours in the way we, as I've said, that chill star.
for YouTube up from the live, please.
Chill star, well said, chill star about the scum rising to the top. Mandy Media moguls in the house. Icon or icon your eyes. Icon. Oh, there she's off again. I do like Mandy's comments. She's into a phonics etymology, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Etymology is key, mate.
Yeah, please give us a thumbs up. We got 35 watching, 16 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. That's okay. We take it. We take the praise and the grumble. We're big boys, aren't we? So we can't please everybody.
Mm-hmm. Let's have a look here then.
FPV, the world has been taken over by liars and scum. Yes, it has. And yeah, sadistic, evil, money, worshipping, liars and scum with no souls. And yeah, just commercial. Look who's running America. What's he? An ex-businessman. That's who's running America. A corporate leader, not a leader of man. Citizens and persons and fictions and that. He can do all right with Trump. He might look like a bumbling idiot, but behind the scenes, he's doing what he's paid to do there. So agreed, F. Indeed.
It's the whole plane is run by a corporation. That's right. It's all business. It's all commercial. It's all commerce, isn't it?
They tried to portray the temples as sacrifice blocks, lying bastards. Oh yeah, the temples. In the film that I've said Mel Gibson did called Apocalypto. It's horrific. I really warn you all. Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that since the 300, and it's like the 300 meets a little bit of the human centipede. And I'm not lying. When you some of the scenes, you're like, whoa, there's no need for that. That's pretty horrific. That's as eye-watering as I need to go. So it does hit home and it is quite blunt, but Yeah, we are the temples. F knows about the ley lines, Andy. He does a lot of reconstructive research and further like ley lines and energy lines and all the old temples and the empires that were there. And he looks at the flat map and he looks at the current depiction of the globe and he overlays it all. And they've done an amazing amount of work, to be fair. And that's putting it, loosely paraphrasing mildly, but there is a mass deception on all of that with these guys that have construed this crazy law and scientific, religious, cat holistic system. It's just, yeah, we are the temples, is the point, though. We are the ones that have Andy, can you enlighten anybody with what I mean? Or do you see where I'm going?
I was, yes, I do. I was just reading through the comments myself, and I missed some of what you're saying. 'Cause I was miles away about this, about the Paisley courts and stuff and common law and that. But it's more distraction there away from what you're speaking of, the true and proper law and all this other stuff now is out there to distract and bring man into disrepute and fine and forfeiture. And we are in dangerous times, and you have to be careful what you're doing and what you're saying, and know who you are in all the realms because it is getting tricky. And that they're moving the stepping stones from under our feet, And when we, the cleverer we get, the smarter they think they're getting, and moving the goalposts, as it were. So through his story that has been deleted through many years and manipulated through the manuscripts and stuff like that, it's where'd you go, where'd you start, and it's where you're talking of. And when you bring it up to his current day and everything, you'll see that it's been running for thousands of years. It's us and them for thousands of years. It's nothing new here. This is not a new technology. It's been going for thousands of years. It's just it's very well hidden and covered over.
It's the battles, yeah. I said to Anne Marie, the battles are still waging on, whether it be blatantly in our faces or if it's be denial of services and belligerent man suffering torts through the belligerent actions of the principals, agents, trustees, the whole shebang, and not knowing how to, enforce any kind of remedy or even relief, not just equitable relief, but relief in the form of service. And we're not going to mention anybody, but we're involved in trying to help quite a lot of man. And we have done with the DWP, ESA, bailiffs, enforcement, quite a lot of areas of law. We haven't just stuck on one area, and we've brought relief in some term or another. And when we found the trust technology, the status, standard, and capacity, and we had that endorsed and further endorsed by the likes of Santos and even going to Alderhay and the chat that this man had and I oversaw and the bits that we did with the priest from Westminster and the rites of passage. This is when it hits home, and when you go through that and you come out the other side, there is only one way. And when we've had as much endorsement and success, and using due diligence and going where we've gone, I didn't know we was going here, Andy. To be fair, pal, it's quite a surprise to me. At
Mm.
the ending part, I didn't ever envisage coming out of a rabbit hole, seeing some light, a rainbow, a pot of gold, lands of milk and honey. What? But first, we've got to go through a fiery pit, and yeah, well, we got to sail some stormy waters, however way you want to look at it. We've got yeah some a limited amount of time, and we're currently exploring the rightful areas of where we need to be, and what comes up randomly doesn't it isn't always so random. And like I say, the religions and the Bibles we have recently looked at through the cause of the language and the bondage and the legals and the ecclesiastical, and then they said lawful. But I found a fourth realm, everyone, that intrigues me, because if we have established now a legal realm, an ecclesiastical church Catholic biblical realm, and then we have the realm of man, God, creator, private law. But if you're not in that, and you're with another entity type, realm, cosmos, thinking, faith, like the Rastafari aren't with this just standard law under God creator. They're under King Haile Selassie. And there are other faiths and things I'm going to touch upon later, like we have with Thoth and the Hermetic principles. But these guys really interest me, and that's where I'm exploring at the minute how they've relived their life not just about the black man that smokes or the darker skinned brother that smokes the weed. Yeah, I'm not, I know that comes along with the Rasta and the Far Eye, but it's all about the way they have their life and the way the food they eat. If I hadn't have got these printed from the guy that brother Kevin recommended in London, that italteas.co.uk, I would never have found out about the word ital. This man is a friend of men that have big ass amps and do music reggae events, bassline events, and they're coming up traveling the realm. And he said to me about generals and the order of, and we could speak to some and have a chat when they come up to somewhere like Leicester, and he's given me some links and he's given me some lingo and he's given me some of the the chat, Andy, and some others have rang me in private and told me bits about how they see things and videos to watch. And it's again, it's another realm of authority. The Moors, the Moorish. There we go. There's another realm that isn't just lawful under God. It's to do with the Moorish and Moors of America and the darker skinned slaves. And there's even a clip on YouTube of President Kennedy saying about the blacks and the darker skinned, brothers and sisters, and about, he just said the word, that it's quite primitive how they put it. And he says that they have a right to freedom and dignity and expression and blah blah blah. It's not blah blah blah, but I can't remember. And he says so they must be included, but they are not. And I'm like, whoa, there's some weight here because they're recognizing the original, bloodlines and lineages, and it gets quite deep. So, that's thanks to YouTube, all that's come out.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you can't lie to YouTube, you can't fool them, you can't pull the wool over their eyes, and yeah, it's they come along and offer their own research as well sometimes because they see our intent, application, where we may have made an error, a blunder. We may have acquiesced to something, or tacitly agreed by our acquiescence to a fact, and it was actually not a fact. And we do miss stuff. We are susceptible to error. I'm a hyperactive, giddy ADHD, so it's incredibly hard for me to get anything normal, calm, and straight. So, plus we're running our own lives, dot coms, Facebook accounts, messages, notifications, emails, and whatever else projects we do, assisting seminars. So, please just, give us a bit of a break. And we're just two ordinary fellas like you are, and we do what we can. So do the rest of the family team. Greg managing it, and we've become good at interpreting, haven't we? We're like translators now, I think, Andy, to some extent.
Mhm. Yeah, something like that, mate. I'm incredibly busy, mate, to be fair, in my private life. I've got it all going on, and it's holding back that which needs to be done and stuff. And we should have been done already what we need to get done, if you know what I'm saying. But, it is what it is, mate. I'm having a tough time, to be honest. Let's get it out there, man. It's just is what it is. Every day's a school day. We all learn something new, don't we? We'll try and stay in harmony and keep the yin and yang and the balances and stuff like that. But lordy, I'm having some ups and downs in my times, I tell you.
Yes, brother, we do. Life is, yeah, it's an adventure, isn't it? And what we do, where we go, it stays with us. It forms part of us, whether it be good or bad. That's the teachings that I can give there, and it forms our character. But yeah, I'm gonna remain vague on this and just say that we all, these video chats and what we do and the expectations and the requirements and what we see put on us when we've had a few testimonials, done some good videos, had some weight about who we are, what we do, and then we get lots of messages and lots of emails, and we have to structure and control it. But we have our own lives going off as well, and as well you do, and it gets too much because there's only one me, one Andy, and one whoever it is. The YouTube and Facebook and all the other platforms come at us, and we wade through it as best as we can, and we have our own issues, and because we're private men, mostly to some extent with our private stuff, then we have to just keep that from you. But it's not easy sometimes because it doesn't matter whom we answer. They're just seeing that they're next in the queue, and they don't even sometimes say hello, how are you, good day, greetings, hey up, nothing. It's just all right, how you doing? What I want to know is, and you're like, whoa, and it's just we become robotic, and we're not robotic, and we need to remember that that's what makes us the way that weird things and what I do makes me me. That's the energy signature I have. Andy, translator, calm, logical, Mr. Spock, but crossed with a bit of Fonzie, crossed with a bit of Big Daddy. Sorry, oh, shut up. It's just that's our unique signatures, and as much as we have to put on an act to you sometimes and mask our personal lives from you, we give you us, real us, but you don't see a lot of what we have to do, and we don't see a lot of what you have to do, which is, likewise, we're not the only two doing this, but it's just sometimes I'm sure that these viewers, the Facebook users, not the .com, because they're aware, and that they're a special breed because they've actually made the leap to come over, join us, buy the gear, donate, whatever it is, and tickets, seminars, everything we've done, and support. Then they're already under the understanding. But we have, we have to now move away from the public, and I don't know. I'm fiddling a bit because I feel nervous, but I'm not nervous. I'm anxious because we've got a lot of and what's the word, men needing help, and we've built a place for them to come and build it. They will come. We can't manage Facebook accounts anymore. We can't keep up with messages and notifications. It's not fair on us. It's not fair on you. So we'll go and do the due, rightful and proper thing where we can maintain control, and that's why we are doing what we're doing. And yeah, it's very honored. I'm very honored, to be fair, and quite blown away with where we are, what we're doing, and what's happening right now at this time as well. It seems all very, very. I'm not trying to big it up and hype it up, but everything is no such thing as coincidence. There isn't. I tell you now, everything happens for a reason. What is the is master there.
I wish, I wish it wasn't sometimes, but it is what is, and what shall be, shall be. But you know, it's just being master of ourselves. That's all I can advocate right now. Know yourself, aware of yourself. I've recently put my foot in my gob and stuff like that, and cost me dearly. And it's just all through selfishness and stuff like that. It's knocked me back a piece, and I've lost everything that I had, and it's pissed me off. There you go. And it just not sidetracks you from where you were and what you got to do. It's not me for six, to be fair, mate. So I've switched all the public stuff off anyway. I was never on there before you brought me on, and it's waylaid me somewhat. I've given all that can give on there, so I'm thankful and grateful that I've met the souls that I have, and I've done what I've done, and it's been amazing.
Like it's a journey, isn't it? And anything that is free in this realm, it's lovely to use for free. But you got to remember that every little bit of data that goes into that app, server, computer, iPad, telephone, Android, whatever it is, the media that you're using that has all these free things on it is not nothing comes for free. And somebody is running something, and even with Showbox, we can talk about this. I don't own it, but I use Showbox and Mobdro and certain apps, and things that allow you to watch certain media streams that are quite niche and select. And when Showbox went off, it said, here, download this app, like, and we'll get back to you in a bit. So I like, all right then, let's have a go. Backed it up, had a look, and it says in a few days, check. You check in a few days, they fixed it all. And it's just interesting, the technology that we've got here, and what we can use it for is where we're going now with this, because the Facebook is free, and we can prove that it's not what it's designed for. It's not honourable, and we're not going to go into it time and time again, but we have got programming doctrines, and we are using stuff that's free that we think is going to benefit us. It isn't benefiting us, it's using us, it's usurping us, and we can prove that once more. So why would you go back to it? If your missus cheated on you time and time again, you would deal with it. If your car kept breaking down, your iron horse kept losing a shoe, you'd sort it out. You'd get another one. But with life, certain companies can just I'll be careful with my words here, but something tantamount to take away all of your rights and strip you financially, come in your home, and you're basically invisibly, and take away money and food from you and your children's mouths, your offspring, sons and daughters, and you put up with it. and we sit there and we don't do anything. And it's like this is the technology, the wars and the systems we have in play now that we need to deal with. We're getting round that, but very slowly, and I don't think quick enough, to be fair. But everything we've done here with Facebook has allowed us to get to this point, but we have got to the limit of Facebook, and there's evil on there, there's deception on there, there's skullduggery, there's bad politics, there's everything. It's Andy and I have seen the inception of the internet and all these computers. I've mentioned about my first little tank and plane game on the Atari 2600 4-bit console, all of the machines and technology that we've seen. It's come out of nowhere, to be fair, since the Roswell crash of the 50s. This technology and microchips, and it's just exploded, and now we need to recognize, is it good for us? Is what we've learned good for us? Is what's been provided good for us? Everything that's been provided, we've been doctrined into this doctrine, has all been, we can tell it's lies and deceitful. Even history and religion is not true. So the Bible, I'll go into that book, but and how many books and versions and arguments there are, but everybody that started a war has believed in the Bible. Let me just tell you that, and it's just like, so we look at religion, we look at technology, we look at everything, and we say no to that now. We're big. We've got the key. We're big boys, aren't we, Andy? And we take the slack, and anything would be better than this current direction. And thank you for listening. I'll yield.
Yes, mate.
It's an honor and a privilege, but it shouldn't be an ex-DJ and a boy that is got no academic education qualification or anything. You're a working class, but man like the next man is. You're not privileged, is what I'm saying here. You're just a soul with a heart and a conscience, and we
I have,
have yeah, we've
I
had a
have
good
no,
ride.
I have no qualifications. I have no A levels, no O levels. I left school early. I have
Hmm.
nothing to my name. A bit of paperwork to say that I can drive articulated lorries. That's it.
But the school of life, well, qualifications, what you've got there and what you learn, the authority, what you've gained, the jurisdiction, no licenses, no paperwork. And yeah, we do what we do with honor and pride. And um, yeah, are you feeling all right, brother? I'm just going to slow things down and take a breath. What we're saying?
Yes, thanks, mate.
Yeah, we've got a lot to be proud of. We've got a lot of places to consider going, a lot of new connections, good friends. And yeah, this.com is constantly evolving and changing. We are striving for continuous improvement, and we listen to what you say. And if it's reasonably attainable and manageable, we will implement it, or at least give you a time when it will be done. But unlike the other networks that are out there, they don't do that. They don't offer you a learning curve. They suck you dry and offer you entertainment. Entertainment, yeah, it gets you so far, distracts you. We're not here to entertain. You can laugh at me, and I know you do, and I like the fact you do, because I like to make people happy, because I am an idiot entertainer. Wolfie, Citizen Smith, I am that man. Andy, he's not got an ego, an image. He's himself. He's real, and we don't mind. We are itchy and scratchy, the idiots, and humble, but we have pride, we have dignity, and we have blood on this plane. Blood,
Sorry
and
about
that's
that.
why we're here. The blood, the family, the belief. We can make things better. We can actually say no. Otherwise, we're in a dictatorship. Newsflash.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, I want you to pay this bill. Well, I don't believe I have to. Well, if you don't, you go in here. If you need to take a break or get off, Andy, you're all right to chip off. Or if you need to, yeah, it's all good, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, let
I'm,
me
I'm
know.
not fit. I'm not feeling the best today, Dave.
You need a big virtual hug, some virtual fist bumps, hugs, and maybe a hot cup of chocolate. some marshmallows and sprinkles on.
Yeah.
No, if you need to take time, man, if you just had some news, something's happened on that call and whatnot, then yeah, I'll catch you after if you want. Or just give me a text, let me know you're good, and I'll speak to you in the office at the usual time tomorrow.
All is
the,
well, mate.
the work
All is
lunch.
well.
Yeah.
All is expected. What is.
Well, it shouldn't be a surprise to you then.
Exactly.
Shouldn't be a surprise. Same hit, different day.
Same joint, more gravy.
That's
That's
it.
what they say. Anyways. Oh,
Yeah, I'll give you a bell tomorrow. I'll be on the workmanship last 5 days. Oh,
yes, I
couple.
should be rattling me chains tomorrow and doing what a boy got to do, keep the wheels turning.
Aye, indeed. We going out there into the realm. We're going to go and interface and yeah, everything out there. It's very deceptive. And over when I'm off, I've got some videos that I've saved that I want to. I'm going to have like a hangout with myself again. And it sounds so sad saying that, but I don't care. And I'm going to play some of the videos. I'm not all of them, but I'm going to put bookmarks in the where the minutes are that I need to get to. You know, like it's going to be like when I was DJing, and or when a DJ DJs, and you put the music in at a certain place and you mix it from one track to another. Well, now I'm going to try and employ that cross, transferable skill, and I'll put it into video mixing, and then we're going to have like a little chat about things as. It sometimes takes, man, to see something in a simplistic form, and we can say and speak and chirp on as much as we want, but when you get a little perfect video and a bit of a statement on, and you go like this. I've seen quite a lot recently, and it's all linking up rather nicely. So yeah, I've got some bits that I'm going to go through, like my play history, and share what where I go and what I do, and see what you think.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We got the 25th Christmas after the Queen's speech. We're going to come on, and I've opened it up to an open hangout. I've put it on the Book of Faces out here on the tube, and yeah, we'll see if we get any guests want to come on and let us translate the QE2 AD. That's his little saying there, Queen Elizabeth II's a speech of this last year and forthcoming, and then we will translate that and tell you what that actually really means, and what she's missed out possibly, yeah, and then how we would do that, and we'll have our own sovereign speech and declaration for the forthcoming year of what is it now, the 3 C's in a trust. Anybody that's learning a trust technology, and our intent. So we need to publicly reaffirm our intent as we can publicly affirm our intent and remain private because we're private, we're not secret. Okay, that's the Masonic lodges that are secret, and such things as Bilderberg, Rockefellers and Soroses and others going to their secret, and you don't get to a sniffing, but the private's different. It's
Let
more
me.
on.
Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils.
UCC. Sorry. You see the light. Do you see the light, CC? I. Wow. I like you little. Okay, got any more? Carry on. It's Sunday night, like so books of worship. And not
Oh
saying you
no,
should worship a book. I'm just having a laugh, but
you say to
pun.
me a topic and a realm and stuff, and I'll pull you a phrase from the book. You
I
know,
was looking right.
like
Exodus. What did I post earlier that I couldn't believe? It's got Exodus 1 1. Is it 3 1 1 1? Or I was saying the ones and threes are still following, man. And as I was going through Exodus, I seen. Oh man, I'm not a reciting Bible man, scripture passage, book, verse, chapter, but somewhere in Exodus There was with the threes and ones. It's very good. It says about the kingship, and whom they are, what knowledge they have. I was looking at the Battle of Gilgamesh, to be fair, and I was looking at the Rastafari religion, and then I was looking at the Christian Old and New Testaments and things about the times of, and trying to see if I could find what gold is, because gold, monatomic gold, and going back in the day, links onto the AU1, the periodic element. And I'm like, okay, AU, they're the words that they use for the power words and all that we know of, authority. AU gold, and AU1 is the monatomic gold with the single electron that hasn't re something itself. And I was like, hey, look, this is all still like, relevant, but not, but still relevant a bit. And I need help with that, to be fair. It's too deep. Some things are too deep. She knows, but I did so deep. That's what Beanie Man said. We love it. But books, yeah, Exodus is nice. Revelations is good. Genesis is a good one. They're all, I suppose, good in a way, but manuscripts, that is.
Let a man so account of us, as of the ministers of Christ and stewards of the mysteries of God. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. There you go, you see. So you can put the religion aside and just have faith.
That's it. That's the way it should be. We got the religion is everybody that started a war, a mass war on this planet, has believed in that book. What does that tell you there? Oh yes, I'm a good man. I start a war though, but it's all right. I'll say sorry to God. I'm sorry about that. I had a little disagreement there. A few million. It's all right. I've said sorry. He'll forgive me. Next war. It's not that simple. It isn't that simple in the grand scheme of things. It's not manslaughter acts, it's murder in the first degree, always. But we've allowed it to become such things as, because, we believe and trust. And our trust has been taken, and our trust is now, it's now becoming our downfall, would you not say, by the way that it is?
Exactly what it is. Nice little quote here, I love it. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons. It's mentioned in the book quite a few times, so know who you are.
No, but it's like reap. There's another way there about another. I was thinking, reap what you sow, yin and yang. It's it's everywhere in all of the areas where you can look. It's translatable in many ways, but.
And the way that we translated it at the moment is they sow with tears that which they reap with joy. Because we've had the tough times and dragged our ass over the coals, as you say, over the hotlands, and now it's time to reap the rewards for the due diligence.
Man's reaping the reward. It's not just us. We've got some. There's no YouTube subscribers. I can't see any at the minute. Viewers currently live now. That have got this document paperwork. There is a couple, but I don't think they're on that could chelp up and say. But man's having remedy in many areas, not with the so-called bailiffs. We call them debt collectors. They're not all official court-appointed sheriffs and so forth. And the mixed race lady, darker skinned lady from Nottingham that I asked for help for in the court the other Friday, and she's got the foreclosure and eviction, depending where you are to what you term that as, stayed off for 3 months. She's got to go back and go back in a little room with the man and do battle again. I said, I'm going to go down with you, love. I'm telling my boss. He'll be all right. I said, I'm going to book a day, and if Andy wants to come or whatever, anyone wants to come and see how to challenge it, then we'll go down and we'll take you some fam, and we'll have a court in a court, and we'll move it around. But she's done that she took her son down. She rang me Sunday night, 9:30, and then she went to the court 10 o'clock, the place, and then by 12 o'clock she was in, and by 20 to 1 she was out. And the man before her, who I've mentioned on a previous video, who was in the same boat, who took the same advice as her, he lost his house. And the property the asset was repossessed. That's how it went down. Sorry about that, but I'm like, wow. So it shows you that, and I can get this lady to give this evidence, but not yet, not while we're so raw. Let me collate it all. But this is all up and coming last minute, and yeah, she said she gave thanks, but just shows you man's having the successes and remedies as well, and the wins because of their application and their intent. It's there.
And listening to me reading the book, she said that lady that she loves how I interpret it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
She said she'd
that's
watched
what
us.
it's there for.
That's right. Yeah, she did.
That's what it's there for. This book will take you on the legal season. It will show you how to act in commerce. And it will give you the language to dispel those claims made against you. It's not a religious thing for man. It's a faithful thing for man to repel a religious order. That's what's going on here.
And do you know what? Yeah, and while you're saying that, one of the darker skinned brothers says, "Where is the sex?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Where is the sex with the Jesus? With Jesus?" I'm like, "Well, there is no sex. Jesus doesn't have it. He doesn't no coitus anywhere of any kind." And he's like, "Well." Yeah, you see, this is the way to immaculate conception as well. I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, hang on. Oh, I see. Yes, yes, you're quite right, brethren. Immaculate conception, clean as a blah blah blah. And I'm like, so there is no sex anywhere. There's no fornication, or there is a little bit with Adam and Eve. You can't deny that, and the bit with Noah and the cleansing of the floods.
Here
But
we go.
interesting.
Their sorrows shall be multiplied, that hasten after another god. Their drink offerings of blood I will not offer, nor take up their names into my lips.
Babylon, Hungary, right now, France, Hungary. Listen,
See,
France, right, look at that. That's exactly what's happening in Europe, in Babylon now. That's it. Where we are, we're in Babylon. To be fair, till we exit the place. But yeah, wow, prolific. That's a very
you
just
see.
makes me think of the
Now,
struggle now, the
all
blood.
my successes have come from my own faith and my faith in that which I've learned from this book. And the faith I have in my knowledge of, and the education I've gained from it. It's a very powerful document, this manuscript, and if you can interpret it correctly and have the correct perception of it and stand under it, mate, then that's it. You'll nail them. Simple as that, like they nailed the Lord to the cross.
No man can be accused of having any sin in 2018 now in this four-dimensional reality of ours because Jesus died for our sins in their belief system. So when they come and accuse you of sinning and crimes and whatnot, well, crimes, I'd argue. Now, let me rewind that. Fractal encoding on fractal encoding system, not crimes, because crimes are different.
Man,
Yeah,
he
I'd
was nailed
argue.
to the cross, and man was forgiven of all debts. Only persons can be in
Gosh,
debt.
it's an
Only
event.
persons can carry any sort of debt. The person is the debt slave. They don't carry chains now; they carry debts.
Yeah, from whorehouses to poorhouses is what we're calling it, aren't we? This, where's your self-esteem, everyone? Where's your security? Where's your happiness? Where's your anything? We just had a procession down the street here at tea time whilst I was doing that engine clean on the CLK, and he had all this float and lights, and there was loads of pink and yellow high vis vests. The council have obviously got, or the community, someone's chipped in and have paid for this procession and lovely Christmas music. And I've got my head in the iron horse, sorting the rear lights and fuses and bits out, not doing any kind of any engaging with it. And they're all there like jolly and with the music. And I'm like, yeah, it's all right for you until you lose your job, your house or something, and you can't pay a bill. And you got these, sons and daughters expecting iPhone 10, Phoenix is iPhone 10 is actually, you look at it, Phoenix phone, and 10 is an X, iPhone X, Phoenix can be made, and it's like they've got no money, they don't realize, and everyone else has got no, it's consideration, would you say, Andy, that we like to see that's missing?
Yeah, yeah, it's all consideration, isn't it, mate? Awareness, consideration.
Whether you be traveling in a commercial vehicle, whether you be privately traveling, whether you be walking somewhere on a tiny little street and it's icy and there's a little old lady and you think, actually, I better go on the road here because this little old lady, or every kind of consideration we could give in every area, not just the equitable and lawful side where we talk about consideration. We consider quite a lot, before we do stuff and how we should do it, what we should say, when we should say it, for ourselves and, the trust. And Yeah, it's a big thing, consideration. The government don't have any consideration. Do you really think they consider what's going to happen when they chop a move? And such people as, was it Duncan Smith, charges cuts the benefits, whatever what he did in his time, but then went and claimed for his pants and boxer shorts, as brother Allerton told us from Sheffield, or brought up. And I may have got that wrong, but as far as I'm aware, I do believe it was him who axed so many 100,000 from the bill and charter of the payout for benefits, and then went and claimed for some boxer shorts when he's on, like, 80 grand a year. What? It's just wrong. There's no consideration, because they're not paid to consider. They're there to do a job that's black and white. It's an army military function, and it demands profit. Why? Because we're in a perpetual debt system that demands that we consume more. And if we don't waste and have this cyclical consumption with this, I don't know, miseducation by the acquiescence of it all, tacitly agreed to by our, fluoridated water and heavy fucking laced cannabis joints. Sorry for swearing, but the nation's all high on ganja, fluoridated water, neurotoxins, stress, and lack of sleep. I'm worried. I'm worried, fam. I really am. And we need to snap out. If you're smoking a lot of weed, I urge you to stop. It was my friend too, and you know what? It wasn't my friend. It made me into a little bit of a lazy, dirty, way of life and thinking, and I was quite taken back by when I came out of it. So it may appear that it's your friend and these tablets, but I'm not telling you to stop taking medication. I'm not a doctor. What I'm saying is, we often rely upon vices and things. Alcohol, that's just pure bad. If you're having too much of that, I'm sorry for that. That needs dealing with at the earliest opportunity, because that will kill you. Ganja, you can't overdose on that and die, which is why it's a substance and not a drug. Sugar, you can overdose on sugar and die. It will kill you through diabetes, because sugar's a drug, everyone. All right, sugar's a drug. Well, why are you giving it 2 year olds? Well, it's normal. Everyone does it. Well, yeah, what's normal, I ask you? What's normal? To
Here
whom?
we go.
What society? Mm,
The
ale.
general, the
And then you.
general, you what, mate? Yeah. The general epistle of James, it's chapter 1, verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain. So it says it all right there, doesn't it, brother? About religion.
Well, we've just said we don't have religion, we have faith, and yeah, there is a vanity about it. It doesn't make me feel happy to know that there's been um, you know, massive deception. And you can say, oh, it's due their ignorance, but it doesn't make it right. There's still an equilibrium of sorts that the universe has, and you can't mess with them laws. So it doesn't matter what you write and what declarations and proclamations and how you do it, it will never be, just right and proper. Like them rules where somebody said about the rules of equity are silence is consent. No, it's just one of the legal society's presumptions and rules and RC things where they have, oh, yes, well, he didn't answer within the allotted time. So we deemed it as that you'd agreed. Well, you didn't hear from me because I didn't want to speak to you, because I'm not contracting with you. And I was in hospital suffering from Crohn's disease. So where's there's mitigating circumstances come into it now. But according to you, I'm guilty. Well, why didn't you use your due diligence and find out? I have the rights to face my accuser, the rights to audience. I believe that we're innocent until proven guilty. Well, how, if you can prove man guilty if he's not in the court, if he's never there? Oh, well, we have a way in systems. Yeah, of course you do. Yes. Well, what's that then? That's not law, is it? No, it isn't indeed. It's something else.
Into
Man's codes. Alan Watts says it on a video. I put it on Facebook when I went live the other night. Alan Watts. So I put it on here one day, and when I'm on holiday. But the codes and the systems we have, the law and the legals. There's ecclesiasticals, and then there's the I don't know, the other side of it that isn't legal and that isn't ecclesiastical, which is what it's
natural.
sovereignty, natural. Yeah, ital, as the Rastas man say, ital, as I found
Natural, mate.
out.
That's
Yeah.
nature, natural. It's a natural law. What goes up comes down. The showing night after day, and just proper. It's right and natural to man.
So it's not wrong to be, you could argue that the lawful defence and the free man, lawful dissent, and all this Article 61 Magna Carta revitalisation of the constitutional benefits of the trust there with the barons, the monarchy, and the peoples. But yeah, it's just right and proper. It's not getting backed up with anything. We've looked everywhere of where the support would be, and there is no support, and there is a system. And it's when you see forced adoptions and what's happening in the hospitals, like what we was privy to see in you lot was, because it was plastered all over the news and it was made like a bloody Rocky Horror Show. That's not funny. That's some serious. You know what? I think I'd be locked up. If I was that Thomas, if I was Nate, if I, David, now swap was to be able to swap places back in time and say right, all right, I make a deal with the creator. I say, all right, creator, if this lad Thomas and I can swap places and he'll never know that we've swapped places and he'll be able to carry on his life happy with his family, I'll go back in time and sacrifice. And I'm not trying to be a hero. I'm just saying, and I'll go back and I'll go and try and do what should have been done in essence, and meet the boys downstairs and have a chat and discuss how to go into private. And let's say we did that and I went back in time, but I wasn't able to do it. Despite my best intention, I was blocked. And I was actually Thomas now at the time. I think I would have been imprisoned for various alleged offences and infractions and that's just me. I'm not judging anybody. I'm not passing comment, but I can't get my head around all of it and how and why. And it's just it's not funny. It really isn't. And we feel the pain, it's regardless of the outcome. We feel the joy when it's good, but we also feel the pain as well.
Absolutely.
If that doesn't wake man up, and then man burning in tower blocks and blowing up in concerts, and the Sajid Javid coming out saying about the safety of it all, and the shankings and London and major cities, and wow, yeah, we're building so many towering £1 million development leisure complex for the retail and industry in Manchester, but on the other side of it, there's no money for the homeless. What the fuck? Did you what? You just said you'd be building hundreds of millions of pounds for leisure and industrial, commercial intercourse complexes. Okay, well, let's just stop doing that a minute and let's just concentrate on everyone else and then we'll build that back up after. There's no money for that. Why?
No, no,
Well,
no.
there's no one investing in the homeless. Why? Well, who would? Yeah, well, we would because that's what we employ you to do. Hello.
Yeah,
Please.
man.
You know what I mean? We employ these to look after us, but they don't look after us and we still employ them. But in that case, just like on Dragon's Den, we're out. And we found a way to say we're out, whether we get the creditor certificate or whether we get the blessing from the evil man over there in the catalytic principal Vatican Hill place, or whether it doesn't matter. We still need to define our perimeter safety and whom we are and what's happening, and disband the assumptions and presumptions and the guilty until you prove yourself innocent in our sticky web of black death. Well, no thanks. That's not how it should be. And we can definitively prove that and step aside from it now. But the thing is, the officers are ignorant to it, and they often incur further damage and harm to themselves and others when they're trying to do these adoptions and assisting the corporate arena to correct or collect levies and charges on enforcement orders when they shouldn't be doing anything, and they should be showing impartiality and due diligence, and they don't. They assist, and it's like, well, hang on a minute, then this is clearly a setup. We've had wars, granddads, fathers, kids, we've mentioned it, millions dying, pints of blood gone, bombs, weapons factories, things that have gone, rationing. Now we're going to just, it's not on. We've got a job to do, I'm afraid, and thanks for joining.
We're back to rationing. Rationing's never gone away. Let's be honest. The average person earns £5 an hour. It's £1.50 for a loaf. We're no further forward.
Declaration of Independence, peace treaties, and these are the way forwards now. And what these Moors are talking to me about, and when I say Moors, I mean that they're in private trusts of which they can't talk to me about on YouTube on a Hangout, but they will talk to me privately. I can't have the liberty of disclosing too much, but it turns out that there's a lot more to scratch under than what we thought already, and we've uncovered quite a lot. So I'm interested, and that brings me into the Afro-Caribbean, transcendental heart of Africa, Michael Tellinger, Rastafari, Babylonian business again, and it's just like, okay, then. Last thing to mention is somebody's brought to me pictures and videos of a book of kings, and it's on a rock, Andy. There's two of them, and they say there was 12 kings that spanned the world and the empires for 240,000 years. And there's names of these kings on these Book of Kings. One's a square pillar and one's a tablet stone. They were both found in different parts of the realm at different times, thousands of years apart, but they've got basically the same information. And they're like, what? So there were 12 men, the kings that were on this realm, like gods on earth, walking around as kings for 240,000 years. And they each had a realm of like, I don't know, you estimate the average of that 40,000 years. And they kicked arse, but they might have reigned for 40,000 years, but they lived for like 100 and something. And I'm like, shut up. Oh, and they were giants. What the hell? Oh, and they flew around in winged things. Hang on a minute. Now you're just having a laugh. And it's just, yeah, it's very interesting. That's all I can say. And it's coming over Christmas.
Let's have it.
Mm-hmm. The flood. Michael Tellinger shows you that in Africa there was loads and loads of circles on the ground, and there were energy grids, and they didn't have doors, and it was all connected up like what you get with the cymatics when you find the frequency patterns and so forth. And FPV and his ley lines and things and so forth, and Nazca, whatchamacallits, has made me think about the floods and those things generating energy. And somebody somewhere at some point said in Africa they found on the top of those mountains seawater and fossilized fish. So at some point there was a massive flood, and man can prove it by wiped out all those things in Africa, and the tops of the mountains got deposited with salt water, which is impossible, but only when salt water goes on the top and leaves fish there that fossilize. And then you look back and go, holy crap, holy crap. So at one point, all of that place in Africa was flooded with that much water. And so that means that some shit went down we haven't been told about, fam.
What's new? What's he get?
I'm serious. I'm like, wow. Okay, then. Tellinger, bless him. He's a legend. Also, Billy Carson. Check Billy Carson and his things out. He's just an enigma of knowledge. Like our mission here with law and where it leads us and how it gets there. It starts off with something simple. We started off with PCNs. You are charged with being in the wrong shipping lane, and so you need to pay this levied port charge. And it's like, hang on a minute, and we've looked into it, and it's been, yeah. Facebook has provided an excellent platform but it's also been a bloody nightmare, and there's been some right energy vampires trying to leech and attack and do what they've done. And we need to safeguard ourselves and continue the good work at the same speed with improved accuracy, continuous improvement, formulation of further, of courseworks and development in all of these areas through specialized forums, and establishing the actual trust itself. That's the next thing at Christmas. These diplomats and ambassadors and apostles come forward, meet us, have the hangouts, put your comments in, send the emails. And divine mothers, thank you for contacting me. I never knew so many things that are just incredible, that we just need something to spark something off, and then everybody that seems to be fragmented actually has a role to play in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, we'll just age with to pick a role and enact it.
I'll have an egg and cress roll, please, on a Italian bread. 6-inch. Shh.
Well, I love you, Baps.
Baps. Is it a bap or a bun?
Or a batch, or a roll. I don't know. What do you call it?
Tea cakes, bread cakes, balm cakes, pie clits. So I could go on for weeks. I tell thee. Cob.
Fastest cake in the world. Scum.
Oh, I like it. It's a dad joke, that is. It's a proper dad joke. For all the dads out there, that's his Christmas gift to you.
We got another one. Fastest fish in the lake, motor pike.
Oh, I didn't even give me a chance to get that one because I knew it. I know that one.
All right, what keeps up with it then? Sidecar.
Motor pike and side carp. For those that might have missed that, I can't see the chat screen either. How many sovereign points does he get? One being not very good, 10 being fantastic.
Oh, -0, mate. I'm just trying to be chirpy and light-hearted, and I'm not actually feeling that way. I'm rather low vibration today, to be fair, brother. I'm to be honest.
Coming
Sorry
on,
for not
hang out, bring
myself.
it mood down. I'm not having that.
We can't always be glorious, can we?
Oh, I
I'm
order
not a
you.
machine. I'm only a
I
man, mate.
order
I'm not a
you to
machine.
cheer. No, I order you. I give you a sovereign order to cheer up. No, that's it. You do what you do, and thank you for coming on and doing what you do anyway. It doesn't matter. You're being real, and yeah, it's life isn't. There's a lot of guys and family, out there, brothers and sisters that are feeling crap, depressed, and whether they know it or not, drinking heavily, like I've said, smoking too much, under the pressure, trying to make life work. Working out what's going wrong. How come you're having to go to a food bank and you're paying everything and you've got less money in? And hang on a minute, how have I got less money? In what world would we ever vote this in? It's bigger than we know. It's bigger. Homelessness is affecting 1 in 200, according to CNN news reports of Friday just gone.
They're all getting persecuted, mate. The homeless, the less able, they're all in for persecution and harm and loss and injury now, mate, as they ramp up their agendas now. They've had their height, they've had their Olympics and ramps at certain shops and all these sort of things that they've done and helped them to get onto buses and whatnot, but they've soon forgotten about. You dig under the surface and stuff, and they can't use the loos on the trains because they're never serviced, and they can't get anything provided for them that's proper because they're not thought about in our society, and they're brushed aside, much like the homeless. Less home, less abled, all these people that are less anything, as labelled. It's awful as it is, but they're only in for some more demise, I'm afraid, until we can help them know who they are to get themselves out of this, because it's a monstrous task coming, because it's a monstrous agenda, coming to get you.
Yeah, and for anybody that wants some more information, please see, is it Diane Jessie Miller and the film One by One, which was actually, I think, Rick Mayall's last feature appearance presentation, and of which he mentions the agenda, of which we are aware of. Somewhat difficult to proving because we're not in the secret societies of the Bilderberg and the camp wherever's they go, and the headquarter Grand Lodge of, and also the Jewish complex of. That's all secret. We're not allowed in the Bank of England. We're not allowed in the Federal Reserve. What do you mean we're not allowed? What do you mean the cupboards are closed? What do you mean I can't get medicine? What do you mean I've just baked 1,000,000 cakes and ran 1,000 miles and I will walk 1,000 moor, and you've just found a cure for cancer and you're going to sell it me for 100 grand a tube? But I've just fucking baked cakes and run marathons and paid you to find a cure, and now you're going to sell it me back? Of course you are. Oh, right, the doors are closed. Okay, go over there and die quietly. Okay, then where's that then, is it? So, oh, Africa, is it? Okay, thank you. No problem. Where do I go to Africa? What? No. Ugh, sorry. We've got to wake up. We've got to wake up. That's it. And it's just not a nice time to be talking about these kind of things that are in the news. And I'm quite, believe it or not, when I'm not hyper on video chats, I'm quite balanced and reserved, and I don't suffer from road rage as much. If it's very little and outbursts and squaring, sharing, no, swearing and getting angry and so forth. It's quite tame. But others, we're on a programmed. These chats help you just that I don't know, that consciousness vibration of, oh, actually, I'm not alone. Okay, others think the same. Often that's all it takes for you to go, actually, I feel all right now for a bit. Suicide's a lonely place. The
Rub a bit off on
depression.
me, will you?
Not
No,
that you're not depressed and suicide. You're just
no,
taking the. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not.
just saying. Others.
Yeah, yes, I feel sorry for those individuals. They need help. They need help immediately.
And Theresa May's come out and said, yeah, nobody will wait 5 weeks for money. We've changed the policy and the processes. And I'd like to know, has she? Has she? Anybody out there, subscribers of Indie and yeah, I of Creator, whoever, Give feedback, please. Who's going for universal credits right now? The email David at splspro.com. Please don't put your data and details on the comment section on the video. And yeah, contact us through the channels that you can and let us hear your, because I'll post it on the .com now. We got, if you go to splspro.com and look at the front page, you'll see several hours ago we've updated the commercial side of the news reporting that we do to our private family, and also for ones that are visiting and getting links to come across and have a quick peek. So we have the ability to cover quite a lot of news that we choose to put ourselves. And yes, we're trying our best. Trust us, we're trying our best. That's all one can do. It's we need more support, don't we, Andy? We need more. We need more.
We need man to realise who man is. We can't do it for everybody. They can't do it for us. We can't do it for them. We've got to do it for ourselves. But we can only help them along that journey, you know. Not everyone believes what I say. 90% of people don't believe what I say. They look at me going out.
I get that. Don't worry. It's all right. Yeah, if they
I
can't
get the,
initially,
I
yeah.
get the typical fluoride stare. Then you have to start breaking it down and doing diagrams, A to B, simple stuff, and whip your person out your wallet and show them at the bottom. And look, it says it's not me. Then go through that, you know. And it's very difficult, such as the perception has been laid down that thick through the doctrine and the indoctrination that man's received, you
Hmm.
know, and through the fluoridation and vaccination, and everything else that comes with it, geoengineering and everything with the genetically modified foods and everything that comes against man. It's very, very difficult for those of us with our eyes open to see, to convince the next man of their religion or faith or anything else that they believe in to be anything other than what it is, and their own what
God,
do we
their own God as well, though.
yeah
To be
yeah
fair, it breaches
well,
on God, doesn't it?
it says in my book, ye are all gods. God is within. You know, if you're searching without, you haven't got it within, then you're always going to be without. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
Yep, of course it is.
Such as man's cognitive dissonance, they'll fight to their own death for their own belief in what they've been taught by the indoctrination. They can't see outside of it, you see. Hence, we have soldiers in the army and stuff giving up their own lives to go and kill another life. You know, it's
Oh wait,
they.
what did Brother Sheffield say, Matthew? He says, what do they have in the army? They have conscripted clergymen. They have pastors and things to pronounce the dead and stuff, don't they, and help them move on because obviously being out there doing that kind of a task, it's like it's hypocritical, is it not? Go out there and kill and we'll get a father to bless you on your way. What the? Hang on a minute. Is it not the cloth that said, "Do not kill. Thou shalt not kill"? It's in one of the covenants of man, and here we are killing and getting the man of the cloth to bless them. The same cloth of the same book that these warlords, warmongers, warshippers, use or believe in to start wars. And it's like, hang on, this is all a bit, we go back to the same place every time.
Yeah,
Re-record, not fade away. Well, we're not re-recording and we're not fading away. We've got a new platform, a new
well,
concept, new
we are
technology.
Ariston, not
I am as
Maxwell.
skinny as that skeleton, bloody hell, but geez Louise, come on. It's just we can see through it now. It is a system. Like even when I was little, I found adverts on YouTube of Rick Mail advertising because I was researching Rick Mail and stuff, and I went over looked at that one by one. And I was like, Rick Mail didn't advertise Game Boy. No, he didn't. And I found all the adverts. I was like, he actually did. And when I watched them, I went, I do remember you now, Rick. I do remember you going, look, poor people, this is what the rich are playing with. Don't you want one? It's Christmas. They're on offer. Even though they're on offer, you won't get one. But look, and I was like, oh, look at it, just And as a child, you was always looking through I called the Argos catalogue the Book of Dreams. Yeah, because to me it was a book of dreams. It was like, oh, one day I'm going to be rich enough. As a little nipper, 8 years old or whatever, thinking what you could get. You could see it, you could almost taste it, but you couldn't get it. You get to Argos and it's like you just give them numbers on a paper and they go and fetch you your desired item from the Book of Dreams. Oh, and that's just, we should have access and we don't. Go on, Andy. Sorry.
Our Argos was shitty.
It
We had
doesn't
no bog
matter.
roll.
Come on. Have you been knocking around with our Peter K or something? Something? Should,
It's
wow.
my usual jokey self, but it's been hidden away. Since my counselling and stuff, I've stopped taking the mickey and
Yeah.
I've stopped being a lot of things, but it comes out now and again.
Yeah, well, we could have a laugh. We cry like need to see the chat room. I can't see it. I'm just outside gabbing and
Laugh and we laugh together, cry and you cry alone. As sad as that is, it's
Roy
in your times
Orbison.
of it's in the times of your tears when you need you people around. You shouldn't be crying alone, and that's what's going on here. That's why there's so many heartbroken souls and individuals out there committing harry carry and doing themselves harm and wrong because they feel that way. They feel they've got nobody, and I can empathise with that. I've been in a crowd and felt alone, and I'm sure all of us have.
Yeah.
And it's this that we've got to stop. We've got to know that we can reach out and be reached out to. It's
Reach
okay
out
reaching
and
out,
touch me.
but
Sorry.
it's when others are reaching to you. It's like when you reach to me. It's whether I allow that or not. Sometimes I don't wish to allow it, and it can be to my own detriment. We've got to be accepting of it.
Yeah, praise, grumble, criticism. It's all fine. Yeah, you have to. It's in life. You like they say, you have to listen and you have to speak and having a conversation. Believe it or not, to me, I was like, "What do you mean it's an art form, David? Having a conversation is like an art form." Okay, well, I've clearly never learnt this art. We know that. Now listen, and I listened. When I listened, I went, "Holy crap!" Okay, I'll try and breathe. That's the number one. Okay, I'll breathe more. Okay, full stops. What are them? Okay, they're new to me. Okay, I like the sound of them. Full stop. Breath. And then waits for a response. Oh, okay, they've got something to say. It's not all me. Okay, then, and you do get. I don't know what it is, but you call it passion, call it ADHD. Give it a label if you want. It's just my own signature energy. And I've had to look at myself from the first video and trying to have, that hang out with Santos killed me. I was knackered. I was absolutely caned.
Hence, I weren't on it, mate. I'd been on a long day
Oh,
that day in
wow.
the lorry and stuff, and
Yeah. Wow. But I
I'm.
try. Yeah, you do. And it takes effort. It takes energy. It's mind. What G Star said to me is, David, you need to tame that monkey mind of yours. I went, monkey magic, monkey mind. Yes, okay. I know this. And he said, and he gave me some names and some things, and off I went and a little journey. And I went, the monkey mind of the indigo. And we had a chat. We're still
Monkey
having
see,
a
monkey
chat.
do.
We're still having a chat. But he's in his corner. He knows now, and it's an onward journey. It's none of us are perfect, and yeah, it's very nice when you can others come along and say and see, and you've got to be able to take the criticism, and if you don't like it, then stay away. But life's very boring when you hide away from others and you have to wear a mask and pretend to be somebody else, you know.
That's it, ain't it?
Or we all clone, we all get the same jeans and the same whatever, and we wear the same and the same designer aftershaves, perfumes, fragrances, brand of automobile, Iron Horse, etc. And you're like, what are we doing here? Where's our uniqueness? Couples that get together, they merge into one. It's like me, Anne Marie, all of my partners. I'm happy to say, even though some of them may have been 8 years together, 10 years or whatever, we retained our individuality, and that's what we need to be conscious of. The programming out there is to be one, one world order, one rule, one money, one thing. Whoa, no. We need renegades. We need the freaks. And if you're a freak, we'll have you. Because you're not a freak. You're unique, aren't you?
Freakly, uniquely. Right, brother, that's me. I'm gonna chip off, mate. I've got things to do. I've got to get up early, and I'm not feeling best either. So,
I really hadn't noticed. No, no, thanks for telling me. All right then, excused. Sustained. No
bonjour.
objection here.
Yeah, I haven't been
All
best,
right,
but it is what it is. We'll catch up next time. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everyone in the chat room. Big love, big peace, big respect. Thank you.
Big love to Big Andy, 2020. Peace and love.
Bonjour. 10 everybody.
Blessings.
Thank you.
All right, brother. I'll see you tomorrow. So, yeah, bless him. He'll be thinking, what's up? Is he all right? Yes, he's got a big family. He's being looked after. Um, an example of a man just going through, you know, issues, which we all are. So we don't put on an act. And he wanted to come on and say hello and just, do his bit. So respect to him and thank you, brother. Um, against me, he may have looked a bit somber and low against to old Giddy Pot here, but yeah, rest assured we'll look after him like you look after us. It's give and take. But it just goes to reinforce, the somberness and whatever of the nation, of the landmass, of Britons, of England, of anything but the United Kingdom is what I'm trying to get at. Your hearts, minds, and souls. You have a right to intellectual freedom. You have a right to lots of intellectual things. And when others come into that intellectual realm and your rights, I would argue, and your sovereignty, independence and future and offspring and bloodlines future, like what JFK says about the rights of the bloodlines of the now free slaves and their principality in the realm and their options for um, divine recreational pursuit of and etc alongside everyone else, white Caucasians. And we're seeing in the news and the media about the charges and the speaker of the John Burker, is it, of the House, and the way that he's been conducting, and the sexual claims from Bex, who was it? Come on, I said a name enough. Labour Party, Bex Bailey, Bosh. There we go. And what she's coming out with, and there's an undertone through the thousands of years of white supremacist, sexist, racist, greedy, gold collecting, misery spreading mother hubbards. Yes, and that's where we're at. And if you'd like to yeah, give me some comments and emails onto such topics of what we've talked about, or attend on the 25th of December for the open hangout. I'm going to try and get some big names on by that. Anybody that I've already had a hangout with already or that's yet to come. I'm waiting for an email from Romley of the Stuart clan. And I've asked some others on the Book of Faces. So we'll see what we see. And we're going to do a sovereign speech about, yeah, tea time-ish, 25th. I'm going to go to the chat room and then we're shutting down. Get ready. And thank you for viewing, sharing. Please give us a thumb up if you have been mildly entertained, enlightened, or have found anything what we've chatted about useful in some way. Or like I say, if we've brought a smile to your face, yeah, surely that's worth a thumb up. Maybe a subscribe. Wow, please. And yeah, moderators, Blue Man Group, thank you for what you do, for being you. Allow me to roam about and walk and talk. Refresh, refresh. Let me see. Let's come back on the camera a minute. Why not? Does it fall? Shabba, shabba, shabba. For when you'll be feeling sorry, everyone. Sorry. That's better. Optimum. Good Lord. Sweet Laramie Jones. No update, go away. I want to hang out. How inconsiderate. No Android. What are we saying? Comments. I'm at the end. GoPro, hello. Jerry, peace and love. Back to you, brother. Asperger's, autism, calcius, dyslexia, spraxia, geniuses, gifted, less programmed, and Bosh. Yes, sister, thank you. Bless you. 38 watching on a Sunday Eve. The way we is. Thank you very much, sister. Yes, we will have a seminar soon, but I don't know when. It's not nothing planned, but we will meet up and have something other than seminars, webinars, seminars. We'll meet up. Name is not sufficient if a thing or subject for it does not exist by law or fact. Unfettered mind. Hmm. So you're going on rather thing or subject by law or fact. No, but a name is affixed to something of material property. So law only comes into that if the material property is then given ownership, or there's titles and relationships, or rights of access, a name. But you're talking about a name affixed to a name affixed to commercial, you know, merchant manifest type name. I know, but I'm just saying. It's a good philosophical argument, though. I will give you that. A philosophical way of looking at it. Astral thief, Bosh. How we doing, brother? Long time no speak. Nice one, my son, Jamie, aka Chef. Had a non-combatant combatant. All right, we had some new ones pop in. Excellent. Legal they make it, but the flesh be the judgeth. Yes, Jerry. Indeed. Why not? Shadows agreeing. GoPro, nice one, thank you. The essence of a contract being assent. There's no contract where assent is wanting. Yes, because it overrides the knowledge of assent. You won't be ascending if you wasn't at the vibratory level to know about ascension. So when you know about ascension, you're not going to be under contract. If you was under contract, you won't be able to ascend, and you wouldn't know about ascension. Yes, that's the kind of stuff that I like. Unfettered mind, good screen name. Apt that you might actually be quite, what's the word? Um, Philosophical. CNN fake news all day. Yeah, I wasn't backing it up, but what I'm saying is, it needs looking at. They're trying to scare man about homelessness levels. Maybe that is inaccurate reporting. Maybe it's actually 1 in 89, and they've put 1 in 200. Maybe it's 1 in 2000. We need to look at it more. Either way, shit's going down. It's not funny. I like walking past the homeless. Anybody. I don't like the fact we can't help. We haven't got. We're not allowed to. There's not a license for feeding the homeless. USA. What? Are you for real? Are you for real? Now what's happening in Hungary and France? Taxes on militant combatants, making you work an extra 400 hours a year. What would you do if you got a letter from your government saying, not from your employer, but from your government or from your employer, with the letter from the government saying, yes, here is the order where now everybody in your company is to work every Saturday extra. So they're now working 6 days a week, and the money they get will pay them in 3 years. And we know they won't get paid in 3 years. So what? This can't. They need support. That can't be happening. It's not happening. Not because our lass is Hungarian, but because it's wrong. It's absolutely stinks. It's not happening. It's not going down. Serbia, Bosnia, Albania, all of this business, the Baltics, and the tactical point of the Baltics and why that needs control. Oh, Greece, International Monetary Fund, Italy exiting the Brexit, coming up on the cards. It's just madness, total madness. Frank Yobo, Frank MCM, Frank Yobo, yes, brother. Hope you got my emails. Jason, you're more powerful than you'd like to believe. Thank you very much. Peace and love, sovereigns. Ciao for now.